Good evening, and welcome to the Amityville Hall of Fame Sports Inductee Dinner. We're standing here with Mr. Curtis Holloman, and Curtis is one of this year's inductees. Curtis, how's it feel to be inducted into the Amityville Sports Hall of Fame?
It's an honor.
Tell us one of the things that really helped you to become a successful athlete here in Amityville.
I just think the dedication, the time that you put in, the effort from the coaches, and then definitely the effort from your parents, to encourage you on a day-to-day basis to be the best that you can be.
That's very important. I think it's important for the kids to understand that your parents are just as important as your coaches in order to make you the best you can be. You agree with that?
Oh yeah, I agree. Your parents are more important than the coaches.
That's true.
The coaches are an extension of your parents and your parents' values and how they live and how you see the culture that they're building for your family. So it's very important.
I agree. Tell us some of the role models here at Amityville that helped you achieve this success.
Sid Martin, Ted Saragatis, Jim Christensen. Those were my main points of contact while I was here, and they encouraged me. They talked me through good times and bad times, and they helped me with technique and with all the things that I needed to be successful while I was here.
We're standing here with Mr. Dale Pest Catelli of the famous Amityville Pest Catellis. Dale, how's it going, buddy?
Going great. Pleasure to be here.
It's good to be somewhere where you're appreciated. And as an athlete here in Amityville, tonight, you're appreciated. How does it feel?
It feels great. It's quite an honor, really, to be up here with all these people. It's amazing. All these people that have been nominated and elected into the Hall of Fame. What an honor.
Well, I've heard a lot about you. As a matter of fact, last year, Mr. Young was inducted, and he said that you were one of his role models. You were one of the people that inspired him as a baseball player here in Amityville to be the best that he could be.
I find that hard to believe because he didn't need any inspiration whatsoever. He was a tremendous athlete, and all accolades to him, all on his own.
Yeah, but tonight's your night, and you were a tremendous athlete as well. Tell us some of the things that helped you and motivated you to be the athlete that you became.
I was surrounded by good people, and that's what it takes. I played 2 team sports, and when you play a team sport, there has to be other people that contributed to your success.
Absolutely. Would anybody in mind? Anybody you'd like to thank?
I'll save that for later.
I like this guy. Okay, just in wrapping up, let me ask you this, Dale. What is one thing that you can tell our youth today that's important about high school athletics?
School. You have to be a student first. Be a student first, then you can be an athlete later.
Amen. You heard it here first. School first, athlete later. Dale Pest Catelli, folks. Edmund, how do you feel about being inducted into the Amityville Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, honestly, it was a shock to me, and I was very proud and honored that I was called to be inducted into the High School Sports Hall of Fame. It was really something great to have.
It's an honor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an honor.
In high school, it's important that academics and sports go hand in hand. What was your key to success when you went here?
It's the same thing, academics really, because every coach I had was my teacher, so I had no choice but to do well in school, So, but academics is, definitely a big thing. You won't get far without it, So
Tell us what it means to be a warrior.
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. You get out on the field. You just, you want to win. You want your team to win. You're proud to be a warrior. You're proud to see the warrior flying in the air. So yeah, it means it's everything. Amityville has a.
How does it feel to be inducted into the Amityville Athletic Hall of Fame?
Actually, it's very humbling because I really am not an Olympian as we had the first time around. I'm not a league winner. I'm not a county champion. I played for the love of the game, but when I went to school, the women didn't keep records on women. And so finally, Reynolds and I and the rest of the crew were digging around as we're redoing all of the walls, and they found a plaque with my name on it. They said, "You're going in because your name is on this plaque." And we played for the love of the game back then. We didn't really play for records or anything. And the highest honor you could achieve was a gold key, and I'm wearing mine tonight, my gold key.
Wow, look at that, folks. Nice gold key.
Yes, 10 carat.
Wow.
And that's awarded from Suffolk County. That was the extent of how women were honored back then. And I didn't realize until Title IX came in the inequality of what was happening. So they finally persuaded me, you're going in. No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Right. What would you say is important to the young women coming up now who are into athletics? What's some advice you could give them?
Oh, I think athletics is so important for whether you make the county, whether you're a county champion or what. It teaches you leadership skills, it teaches you teamwork, and it teaches you make friends, because when you're in athletics you have to make friends. So I think it's a very important life lesson.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. What is one of the things that was special for you here at Amityville High School in athletics?
Tons of things are special. Too many to put in one sentence. Many of you know I was here not only as an athlete and a student, but I was here as a coach from 1995 until the present. One thing that stands out to me in Amityville is just the pride in the school, the pride in the community. We say it in the wrestling room. I'm sure other sports use it, but I've been saying it forever. You bleed red and gray. That's Amityville. We're Amityville. This is where we're from. This is what we are. And there's no other place I would rather be as a coach or a wrestler, as a person, than Amityville. It's the best place in the whole wide world.
Awesome. It's funny you mention that, because one of the things that's important to me is the younger generation doesn't understand what it means to be a warrior. Why don't you tell us?
Yeah, what it means to be a warrior is it's something that's instilled in you. It's something that when you're a 5-year-old kid, you go to stand on the sidelines of a football game, and you have that dream that when you're a grown-up, when you're in high school, that one day you're going to wear that jersey that person wore. That's being a warrior, from 5 years old to the high school. And then also, it's the responsibility of the high school kid, when you get there, to pass it on down to the youngsters, to understand that you're a role model to these kids, and that's what it's all about.
Well, you have big shoes to fill, because your father was here coaching wrestling, and you kind of came in and just took over that spot. How does that feel to have the legacy continued?
At first, it was very difficult, because from a personal standpoint, it was tough shoes, and it was I want to do the best I can to keep this thing rolling that he started, and it was always the bar was always higher than everybody else thought it was, and reaching that goal, even though we did, you always wanted to get higher, because that's what Norm instilled in everybody.
Sure.
Well, I was fortunate to grow up with a lot of great athletes here in Amityville, so it's just a blessing to be a part of some winning tradition here. So fortunate to have a really good career individually and collectively. So it's a great moment, great night for me and my family and the Amityville community, for sure.
What's one of the things that was most important to you here as an athlete and as a student?
Well, I think we're just trying to set an example for not only the kids that I went to school with, but also just representing all of our families in the community, for the people that was before me and even behind me.
Right. What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2001.
Wow, you look young, man. You look like you just got out of here 2 years ago.
I think I failed the chemistry class. I might have a little eligibility.
David, how does it feel to be honored as one of Amityville's top athletes?
It's a great honor. It's nice to be recognized for doing something well, and I had a really good supporting cast and a great coach and great family, and I'm just really happy to be here.
Now, you're a part of a relay team, is that correct?
Yes.
And tell me some of the accomplishments your relay team had during your tenure here.
We were consistently the top contenders in Suffolk County. We had Suffolk County championships, both in the 4x1, 4x2, 4x4. We were state champions several times in the 4x1, 4x2, and then in our senior year in the 4x4, and we were also All-Americans in the 4x1, 4x2, and sprint medley.
What was one of the things that you learned here in Amityville that helped you as an athlete?
Number one, time management, because Coach Hawkins was not the type of coach that would allow us to flunk out of school and then run in a track meet after school. And so I had to learn to manage my time well as a student athlete, student first. But then also just kind of pushing through the hard times, because while we won state championships, our sophomore year, we were positioned to do really well, surprisingly, and we dropped the baton. And one of the things that we had to do was bounce back and come back the next year and come after those teams that we lost to. and keep our composure and really compete well. So
So you were able to show resiliency in the face of adversity, correct?
I think that's a good word, resiliency. Yeah.
If you had a chance to speak for your other cohorts, what would you say would be the sentiment from all of you to Amityville?
I think first and foremost to employ and give power to someone who's such a great leader like Coach Hawkins. We have to have more of people like him in the district. He really gave us an opportunity to not just be really good athletes, but to be really good men. He took us on trips to Philadelphia to compete at the Penn Relays. We went down to North Carolina to compete at the Adidas Outdoor Nationals, and we also competed in Florida as a relay team and individually. And just being able to get on a plane or get on a charter bus and go see these places as young people spoke to his desire for us to mature into really good men.
Also, you are a coach here in this district as well. You're a track coach.
Yeah. So I coach with Coach Hawkins and Coach Constable, the varsity team, both guys and girls, for the indoor season. And then the outdoor season, I go down to the middle school and kind of, we have a nice little feeder program now where Coach Brooks and I, Narada Brooks, who was also on our relay team, he and I are coaching the guys and girls middle school track team. And we're just pushing them to understand the basics of track and field and the basics of competing so that they're responsible enough to be students and athletes, represent our community well. And we did pretty well last year. Yeah.
Before we close, tell our audience, what does it mean to be a warrior?
It's interesting because I was watching the old school movie, The Warriors, before I got here, which is a completely different thing. But, I mean, even in that movie represents people who are just on a journey somewhere, and along the way they faced adversity, and they had to continuously push through those adverse situations. Not saying you need to be a gangster. That's not what we're saying. What I'm saying is to be a warrior is to be someone who can fight through things that seem insurmountable, situations that seem very difficult. When we went down to nationals, we didn't think we would get top 10, let alone top 3. And so to be a warrior, both here and anywhere, is to notice your surroundings, to love people around you, to appreciate them, to push other people to be great, and then also you find greatness within yourself while you're pushing other people.
Yes.
How does it feel to be nominated as a sports icon in Amityville?
It's a little bit late, and I'm too old for this.
I don't think so. I think it's just on time. I think the fact that you're being acknowledged for your athletic ability is wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Is there anybody that you remember that was influential to your success here in Amityville?
You mean on the winning team?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. In fact, I think she went in already. She was the coach, Bernice Giordano.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think she went in already.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure that we say hello to her. But is there anyone you'd like to say hello to?
No, yes, I would like to say hello to my son who couldn't be here tonight. The rest of my family is here, but my son isn't. He's in the islands and he's battling the storm.
Oh, wow.
Joe Houseworth. Suffolk County Lieutenant.
Joe, I hope you're all right out there in that bad weather, because your mom is here with us, keeping us nice, warm, and toasty.
Here, my grandson is here. My husband isn't here. He couldn't make it tonight.
Awesome. Well, we're glad that you're here, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I hear that in track and basketball, you were the bomb.
I did my thing. You know, I had a good time. You know, in Amityville, you know, because of the coaches, they gave me good inspiration. They gave me good instruction, and I was able to do very well for myself. Definitely.
Good. How important was it for you here as a student to excel at sports? Was that something that was important to you?
It was very important, and our coach, Mr. Fred Williams, the late Mr. Fred Williams, he instilled that in us. And even till today, when I coach also now at Yale, and I instill that in the kids. So education is first always, and then athletic is second, definitely.
Is there anybody that you would like to thank in your athletic and academic career here at Amityville High School?
Absolutely. Actually, Mr. Byers was my first coach here in basketball, and I'd like to definitely thank him because he put me on the right track. And there was another English teacher, Mr. Regents.
Okay.
He's the one that really inspired me to do well academically.
Good.
And again, Mr. Fred Williams, the late Mr. Fred Williams, of course, he's a definite mentor for life.
Of course. The gymnasium is named after him, so it's apropos. Also, what would you recommend to some of our young viewers out there who are coming up in athletics now? What would you say is key to getting to the point that you are now?
Well, I think it's very important to really understand the expectations of what it takes to be an athlete. Not only an athlete, but a student athlete. So again, you got to put the books first. And then once you really want to become an athlete, it's dedication. Right. It's a lot of things that's going on in the community that, can get you caught up and that type of thing. But you got to stay focused. And staying focused means that, you got to put the work in.
Sure.